things, because not to sound like an asshole, it don't sound like you really know what you're talking
Uh, well, welcome back to another episode of the Poetic Jam Podcast with the Poetic Jam Network. We have a special guest, right?
about. I'm Jada Wada, aka Goddess Way, spreadsheet shorty, compliance cutie, pimp named Juice Cooch.
Pimp named Juice Coops. Okay. What's the inspiration behind the names though?
Um, I wear a lot of different hats, so I gotta make sure I define all of them correctly, because all of them require a lot of maintenance per hat. So
What you mean by hat? Like,
I wear a lot of different hats. So
as in, I mean, I tend to be a little bit slow in a
I do
sense.
a lot of different things
Yeah.
that require a lot per thing. So I juggle a lot. I do a lot of stuff.
What's number one on your list though?
Um, I don't really think there's a number one just because they all float around so much. Um, my day to day is more so like spreadsheet shorty, compliance cutie. That's just kind of me being the person like behind the spreadsheets, the organization, the breakdown for things, execution of things. Um, just me being the person that can just get shit done in a sense.
Simple question though. What are you most grateful for in life though?
Um, honestly, just to be here, I guess. I've gone through a lot of shit, so there's just a lot of things that come and go, but being here is consistent. So
I being here, you know what? Like, what's the meaning of life in your term, in your eyes, how you see it?
I don't really. I stopped trying to look for any type of meaning of life. I just kind of go by my own mantra of I exist and I attract.
You exist and you try. So you don't think life like have a definite meaning?
For what?
You know, people say religious people might say, "Oh, the meaning is to serve the creator in a sense."
And then what?
You know, when you get to this, I don't personally believe in it, but when you get to a certain point and you die, you go to heaven and you do all this extra shit.
And then what?
That's where you stop. That's what the knowledge. As soon as you die, nobody died and came back to life though, so we'll never know.
So the more you try and find a meaning
Yeah,
to a question that's probably not even meant for you,
yeah.
you just kind of wasted time figuring some shit out that's probably not even serving you.
I mean, in a sense, we here like we curious creatures, right? Like curious being. Of course, we're gonna want to find the meaning of certain things, even if it doesn't.
You can speak for yourself. If you want to find what you feel like your meaning of life is, then that's understandable. But as far as to others, me personally, I exist and I attract. So whatever comes with that comes with that, and whatever doesn't, it's not for me.
So the next question was like, what gives your life meaning? I mean, in a sense, it's kind of
Life itself.
like, what is life to you? Yeah?
I mean, we here.
So life is just being here.
You can't escape a moment that you're living in. You can't teleport. You can't be somebody else right now and look through their dome at them, or like in their scalp. You can't do that. You literally can only be present in every moment in your body as you. So I'm not trying to define any of that shit if it's inevitably going to be here. I'm here. This is my life. I do what I want just because I'm that type of person. I'm not trying to look for a meaning for anything. I just try to do the things that I want to do and learn from the shit that I should. But anything outside of that, I feel like I've just kind of been through a little too much in life to try and solve more puzzles than I don't need to.
Do you find yourself holding grudges, yeah? Or no? You just let shit go.
I used to. I feel like now though grudges get mistaken for people just trying to preserve their peace and get the fuck on. Like, I don't really have a lot of time for repeating patterns. So if I see it, some people will be like, oh, you don't like them just because of this shit that happened that long ago. When in reality, I could look at it like, nah, like, this person been like this, so I'm kind of the dumbass for not sitting down and acknowledging that shit. So I might as well just
Keep it moving.
yeah, because what the fuck I'm gonna do to sit here and continue? The definition of insanity is like doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. So if I'm quote unquote holding a grudge, that would be an insane thing on my end to do, because I'm just having all this energy for you, expecting for you to feel all this pressure of this energy to like change automatically how you feel about some shit. When in reality, you could be completely unfucking bothered somewhere, and I'm just mad, hot in the chest for no reason. So I don't hold grudges as much as instead of holding that energy, I don't even want to feel that shit at all. I'd rather just keep it the fuck pushing. Like, I just keep it moving.
So you move on quick then, in a
Um,
sense, or no?
yeah, now I do. If I'm sensitive about some shit, then I'll just make sure like them waters don't get troubled. But if they do, then watch out.
I don't know your relationship status, bro. Are you like single?
No.
Relationship? Yeah, we was talking. Define like your style, best type of relationships, though. Like your perfect relationship, if anything can be perfect.
So you asked me if I'm in a relationship,
Yeah.
and then you asked me to describe a perfect relationship. That sounds like a setup.
No. It's not a setup. I just, a lot of people have different ways of like see their relationship. Some people might like, hey, this is certain boundaries, or this is like monogamy, polygamy,
Polyamorous?
or polyamorous, and all that.
Polyamorous.
Yeah, so that's what I mean by that the question,
I mean, there's no ideal, there's no bad place or wrong answer. Me personally, I'm polyamorous, as well as my partner's polyamorous, and that's something that just we didn't make the decision to be that before we really got serious. We just let it be known to each other, and then that actually ended up helping us in the long run for both of us to just kind of like know what type of time we're both on. So it just
So is it closed on your end, or is it like both open? Basically, like, is it do you date other guys too or no? Or just him, he date other girls with you?
what is your definition of dating? Because you're asking very like not questions that you would sent me, as well as I don't. They're very vague ass questions, so I don't.
Nah, I don't know you personally. I don't know what specific type of question to ask when it comes to that situation. That's why when I said, I was like, what's your ideal situation, relationship?
I mean, the one I'm in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, and you
Are
say,
you asking how it works?
no, and okay. How does it work?
So me and my partner were polyamorous, meaning me and my partner. Polyamory is an umbrella term, which
Yeah.
basically means if you break down the word in itself, it just means multiple and then lovers. So that just means multiple love. We're two people that just love to love. People feel like they have an idea of polyamory, which is probably why it's hard to ask me questions, because not to sound like an asshole, it don't sound like you really know what you're talking about.
I don't. That's why I'm here trying to ask a certain question to find
So right,
certain things.
So
'Cause I don't
polyamory
know.
is an umbrella term.
Yeah.
It means multiple and then love or lovers.
Yeah.
Now, there's something that's called an anchor person, and it gets really technical, but really and truly, like, my man will be my significant other.
Yeah.
So, like, we just communicate with each other as far as the things we do, as far as the things we don't do. If we're bringing someone in that, if we're exploring things on our own, like, we just talk to each other.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. No, I was more talking about some like, are you like allowed to date other guys?
I'm allowed to do what I want.
Okay, that too. That's true. But can you date other guys in that situation? or it's only him that can bring other girls into the relationship?
So, yeah, not to sound like a dick, we both can do what we want. So there is no allowance of anything. That's not my father. I'm not his mother. We're two people that consensually are with one another.
But that's your man, though, right? I mean, you shouldn't do anything. But see, that's like, I don't want to get in a certain situation. I think a certain way, and you know,
Well, that would
certain
be you
things.
and your situation, though. Like that's why I said to you, a lot of people already have a certain perception of polyamory, so it's even a little hard to ask certain questions because it kind of seemed like you don't really know what to say or ask her, which is fine. But even me explaining it, there's not really a certain perception that's there because you're not really looking past what you know as a relationship for you to be in. The same way you would walk into a buffet and you kind of wouldn't sit there and like dictate how the next person should eat.
I'm not trying to dictate anything. I'm trying to
No,
come up
I'm not saying you are.
with an
I'm just,
understanding of like
I get that.
how
Right. But
the relationship or the poly work, though. You know.
but what I'm saying to you
Yeah.
is the same way you would walk into a buffet and
Yeah.
you're there just to eat. There's plenty of selection. You yourself could know you're allergic to this, you don't like this, you don't prefer this or whatever.
Yeah.
But you still make the conscious decision to go and eat.
No, it's not like I don't like or have a specific idea about your relationship or any relationships. I'm just trying to ask certain questions so to better understand where you coming from, or people that gonna hear this is like be clear about it. So basically, a poly, right, is what?